I've waited a long time for this moment. So we're going to watch Return of the Jedi together, have a little watch party. I'm going to be watching the original Return of the Jedi without any of the special edition, special, additions. So let's get started with Return of the Jedi. I will point out when I notice something that was changed in the special edition or something of particular note in that regard. Uh, Most of the time, it has to do with things Darth Vader said or things the Emperor says to Darth Vader. And let's get started. I'm going to hit play movie. You will see the first thing that we'll notice here, other than the old 20th Century Fox logo, is that there will be the old Lucasfilm logo as well before it got fancy. So that's how you know you're watching the original movie. I feel like in this original version, we have to wait less time for Luke because there's no extended dance scene at Jabba's. The musical cues here are just spot on. Like as soon as they get clearance, the music has a little change to it. It's great. This guy's shitting a brick. Very quick dialogue. It's inspiring how clever and fast it is. within the first 5 minutes of the movie, they're talking about the Emperor coming to the station. We've only seen the Emperor over hologram in the previous movie. So this is an area they felt that they had to improve in the special edition by making this door at Jabba's palace super humongous. But I think you'll see in this original edition that the door is plenty big and it's very intimidating. There's no need to change it to make it bigger. Look how big it is. It's... So if you're watching the regular or the special edition, your movie might run a little longer than mine will because of all the extra scenes that they've added. They kept 3PO in the dark about what was really going on here, right? It's like even though they're speaking a different language, you can totally get it. Pay attention to all the original like music that they have in the scene from the original version. It suffices. It's fine. I actually do enjoy the special edition version of this movie. Jabba's very direct. Scary, because this is like years later. He's been there for years. That droid has a great design. That's a great design. His arms, his body, his head. I like that musical scene better than the updated one for sure. I think that represents Jabba's palace better. I like how 3PO is like covered in slime when he gets up. That's pretty awesome. Like this guy's like a slime ball. fx-sabers makes a very awesome replica of that detonator. Isn't it kind of funny that Boba Fett has been here since he brought Han Solo here? So has he been here for years? I mean, this is like 2 years later. He just stayed there. Or did he happen to be there again tonight? I don't know. He just loves it there. He just stayed there. It's almost like there's lightsaber crystals up behind Lando. There's like different color lightsaber crystals. I don't think I ever noticed that before. Yeah, see, that's a great scene. Twin sons. They got their burp joke in there, even though it's not the special editions. This is when I started to tell, right by the walk, when you saw her in the hallway there, you could tell that she had like a feminine walk. So the first time I watched this, you know, big thump. See, no matter how good her disguise was, and no matter how good she played her part of this unwilling bounty hunter to give up her bounty for less money, they still set up this trap for her where they're all kind of waiting. They're waiting to pull the curtain on her. On them both. Love these effects. I just love that effect of the carbonite melting away. I thought it's very realistic too, how he's like kind of sweaty and dirty, because I feel like in a modern movie they would have them looking like models. They wouldn't show it so realistic, all dirty. Gotta love the blue elephant guy. This is worse than being in the hands of the Empire. He probably smells bad too. Turn your stereo up because the sound, is so good. The sound is so good. Got our boy right here, all dressed in black. Like we never would have thought that a Jedi could dress all in black, but he does. That's so cool. That's so cool that he dresses in black. So a callback to episode 4, original Star Wars movie right here. We haven't seen the mind trick in the previous movie. They skipped a movie. I love the line where he says, "I told you not to admit him." That's fantastic. Every line so carefully means so much. This is a carefully constructed script. See, I think by Luke's threat, Jabba takes him a little more seriously by conceding the fact that he may be a Jedi, but he's a young and inexperienced Jedi, so he's going to try to off him. I love how the Gamorrean guard is caught in the middle. uh, Seeing him get eaten really shows the size of this monster. Right about now, I'm wondering, where's the lightsaber? Where's Luke's lightsaber? He has to use a bone? That's so weird. He doesn't need it though, right? He's got the Force, so the Force will help somehow. Yeah. And the eyes on the Rancor look real. It's like they're always in the shit. Like even though he just defeated that monster, he's still in the worst position. He's like in jail. They're all in jail. They're being held by a gangster. It's like the worst. I love how Luke is still going to make threats. It's the best. So tough. So these effects aren't so bad. Those weren't so bad. The floating. No big deal. I'm buying it. That looks good to me. I'm buying it. You know, a lot of people don't like Return of the Jedi as much as some of the other movies, but I love Return of the Jedi. I think it's fantastic. Luke at his almost full power. It's the only time we get to see that, unfortunately. Coming up here is one of the only scenes we got. One of the only scenes we got There's a few of them in this movie, but it's one of the only that we got of Luke being who he is. See, in the original version, there's no CGI tongue. It's scary enough. This is a desert. It makes sense that it's all dried out. It makes sense that there's no wet parts. And the music. This is one of my favorite Star Wars songs. This is a great one. Leia takes care of business right now. She takes out more people than anybody. Remember when Luke says, get the gun, point it at the deck. You know, she does everything. She takes out Jabba the Hutt. She's taking out Jabba. Luke ain't fucking around. Look at that escape. Does that look like it needed to be updated? I don't think so. I don't think so. And they're out. That's an explosion and a half. That doesn't need nothing. That doesn't need nothing. Don't change a thing. Remember in your high school yearbook, they'd write, don't ever change. Don't ever change. Don't ever change. Don't ever change. The music, unreal. Perfect. That's a lot of TIE fighters, yo. Oh my god. I don't know if I ever noticed how many TIE fighters they had. That looked like, in this little spot, it was like 150 TIE fighters in just a little spot. Oh, because the Emperor is there. Oh, that's what happened. Look at this guy. My friend. See, one of the first things he says, he calls Vader his friend. See, that was a setup. That was a setup by Palpatine right there. He set Vader up. Come to think of it, I wonder what ailment Yoda got. Apparently, it wasn't just old age. He said he was sick. What do you think he keeps in his little pouch on his little belt? Like salt and pepper? It's almost like when they're discussing right now being a Jedi, it seems like they're combining Master and Knight for Luke. Like when he becomes a Jedi in this movie, when he faces Vader for that last time, I think he's both a Knight and a Master because he's the only one. He's the only one left. In hindsight, after watching episode 3, we understand what he means by that. He underestimated the Emperor a little bit. I see that as permission to like start a family, um, as well as what he says next. This scene is one of the reasons why I think the expanded universe works so well when Luke and Leia go on to have their respective children, and all the rest of the Jedi that Luke trains are allowed to start families. That scene kind of, you could read it that way. You could read it that old Jedi rule like has to go for the order to survive, to go forward. So the Jedi are asking Luke to do an assassination. I think like a double assassination. Um, in a way, they might want him to go face Vader so that the Force can do what it does and make something happen, but they basically just admitted that they want him to go kill Darth Vader, and I think in turn kill the Emperor. Um, which, when you think about it, is pretty odd. Is a pretty odd scenario. This is a great scene. There's a scene in Rogue One that reminds me a lot of this. Bothans are furry creatures, if you didn't know. I don't see any Bothans here. More and more I'm thinking they should have just kept going. Episode 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right after this. What's the problem? Just feed them more money. Give Harrison Ford more money. 1985, 1986, do episode 7. 1989, episode 8. 1993, episode 9, you know. Then when they got too old, they could have went and done the prequels if they really wanted to do prequels. But I still think that what we had in our mind for the prequels, because of all that was said in these movies, is probably better in our imagination than what we actually saw. Absolutely epic space battle in this movie. The best ever. They've got all types of pilots. The rebels got all different types of pilots and all different types of ships flying around. The shuttle Tidarium. This looks fantastic. Aren't they lucky to have that Mon Calamari super starship? The Mon Cals had to take a lot of punishment for them to band together. It's so sick how they went that way. The ships are facing that way. It's so rad. There it will stay. Look at the helpers that he's got. This is like, you know, in one of the expanded universe books, it explained that Satay Pistage, I think the name was, one of these guys that's like hanging around near him, these old guys, I think was his dad. They said it was his dad. I don't know. But in the newer in a newer book entitled Plagueis, it explains that Darth Sidious actually killed his father, I believe. I'm not sure that actually was his father. Like Palpatine's advisors. It's our first great look at the Super Star Destroyer. Where is that shuttle going? So that was a moment that Vader felt, but Darth Sidious did not. So when Sidious finds out about that, he questions Vader on that a little bit. Here in the forest of Endor, we get another lightsaber scene, which is just absolutely fantastic because Luke chops a speeder bike in half and deflects 2 or 3 laser bolts. It's an amazing saber moment in saber history. Here we kind of notice that the stormtroopers have a different design depending on where they're at, right? We saw the Hoth troopers had snow gear, and these are forest troopers. In the documentary, they show you how they did this. It's incredible. Luke is a boss. Leia kind of looks out here. Right after she crashes, he crashes. She really lucks out. So it's like Leia fell asleep after that or something. She's like knocked out. Wicket. Universal language of food. Best friends forever. It should be chocolate. He has every right to be jittery. They're about to get attacked. Stormtroopers are clever on this world. On this moon. What the? Yeah. Boom. This place is crawling with stormtroopers. No, this way. My treehouse is over there. Fully armed and operational. I told you to remain on the command ship. Yes, I know. That's a comfy chair. I gotta get me one of those. That looks like a comfy chair. Other than the armrest. Armrest is not shaped right. He like didn't even want to have to say it because he's thought it 100 times, but he had to say it there, and he was like annoyed. There's 2 more Rex speeders back there. This doesn't look good. It's just a dead animal, Chewie. No, wait! I like when Han like pushes away the spears. He thinks it's like a joke. That Ewok had the lightsaber. That's a good look at the V2. It looks short in that. It looks pretty short. Luke V2 lightsaber. That's a pretty good view of it. Nice hair. I think I saw like kind of a mistake there where a couple scenes R2 was not wrapped up with the rope and he was standing there, whereas right after this scene they'll cut him off with a like he was wrapped up with a rope. But there was a couple scenes where they didn't show that. R2 was just standing there. See, he was like leaned up against that, but there was a couple scenes that he wasn't. It's kind of funny too how in episode 4 C-3PO says that he's not very good at telling stories, and then by this movie he is telling an incredible story with sound effects and everything. It's so funny. Even Luke is like a little spooked of the realism of this story. It's like a deadly family story. You're now part of the tribe. Hurry up, would you? This is a beautiful scene. Yeah, I always thought these images that Leia had were, you know, force projection images. Just because Leia as a baby was so powerful, she read all these feelings and images, you know, without really seeing her. That's a lot to take in. And then this guy strolls up. That's a lot to process. She can't reveal that shit right now. I kind of think she's thinking about like Alderaan. She's thinking about all the stuff that Vader did. She's probably kind of even more disgusted knowing that it's like her blood. He was armed only with this. We get our first true sense of Vader here. That's not the same one the Ewoks were holding, but close enough. When Vader says it's too late for him. That's a revealing quote. It's almost like he sang that line. Very cutting words right here by Luke. And we actually see Vader kind of hang his head over these words, or think about these words for a second. So that's Luke's ship, the ship with Luke on it going up to the Death Star. Yeah, the Rebel fleet, boy. Incredible. B-Wings, A-Wings, X-Wings, Millennium Falcon, transport ships, the Moncal Cruiser, Home 1. Leia kind of said, "Oh no," like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, didn't she? It's a good distraction. Pay attention to the speeder bike handle if you are building a Koran horn or a speeder bike handle lightsaber. But I don't think the speeder bike handle lightsaber was built off those speeder bike handles. Like, look at my made by Darth Chasm off the fx-sabers forum. This is almost like a speeder bike handle lightsaber. Not necessarily those speeder bikes, but Solo's Hold has a speeder bike handle that looks like those speeder bike handle lightsaber, or a speeder bike handle lightsaber that looks like the Return of the Jedi speeder bike handle. Because some lightsabers were made out of, those spare parts from cylinders like a speeder bike handle. So even that's a trap. Like, they got in there, it was difficult, but it's still a trap. It's like from episode 4, letting them get away, to even now, they're still trapping them like the same way, just like letting them get in, but not letting them get out, or letting them escape to find their base. So interesting that this Emperor is the same actor, Ian McDiarmid, as we have in the newer movies. It's just that back in 1983 when he did this part, I think he was something like 29, and he was playing this 100-year-old guy. And fast forward a bunch of years, he's able to play the 50-year-old, the 50-year-old Palpatine just as well. Yeah, because Palpatine had something called battle meditation, which they explained in some of the expanded stories, expanded universe, where, he's concentrating all the time on meditating, trying to see the future, trying to see all the pathways of what could happen. And not only that, but during the battle, he is enhancing his troops and ships. And that's why as soon as he's thrown into the chamber and killed, the battle meditation is broken, and all the ships and everything else is kind of like, it's like coming off a drug. They're less enhanced, they're weakened, and that assistance from the Emperor is gone. At least that's the way that I always love to see it. Was that the Emperor was really making all the Empire's forces stronger when he was really concentrating on the dark side and really letting the dark side flow. And some Jedi had that ability too, but it was super, super rare. But when you're a Sith Lord, you learn all the tricks. Because there's only 2 Sith Lords. You have to make sure you know everything about being a Sith. And if you want to see more excellent Lando, you can check out a lot of the expanded universe books that include Lando all the time. I mean, there's some books about Lando, but Lando's always helping the New Republic in the post Return of the Jedi years. He's a huge, huge help. This is like insurmountable. That'd be an insignificant rebellion. There's always like a dark spot on the Emperor's hood right here that bothered me. It's like an animated dark spot. I don't know why they did it. And even in the... maybe in the Blu-ray they fixed it, but even in the special edition, that is still there. I was like waiting for them to fix that mark, but they never fixed it in the special edition, at least. Maybe they took care of it in the Blu-ray. But it's like a black mark that... it's like... it looks fake. I don't know what's going on there, but small distraction. Excellent scene. Now, the way these scenes keep cutting back and forth, something I just think is genius. Like, they have the space battle, the land battle, and the personal Jedi versus Sith battle up in the Death Star, all rotating for the next 25 minutes or so till the end of the movie. And it's just pure magic the way it unfolds. It's like editing school. They're fighting for their life. Fighting for their life. Amazingly, I think Han retrieved his blaster, his own DL-44. He got it back. It's kind of sad though. These cute little creatures, they're getting their ass handed to them. They're getting kind of killed up. But they're serving this purpose as a distraction, so thank you, Ewoks. This is one thing the Emperor didn't plan on. He didn't know these Ewoks were going to jump out. This is the first thing that went wrong. That's the first thing that went wrong for the Emperor. He did not count on these Ewoks jumping out. He did not count on Vader's daughter on the surface of the Sanctuary Moon. He did not count on that. There's got to be some kind of magic in like 3PO. The fact that Darth Vader built him as a boy. That's got to do something. Hard to control these super fast ships, I guess. There's certain ships just like crashing into other ships. Must be super hard to control. Fire at will, Commander. This is a problem. Oh, they took out a Moncal cruiser. One more shot and the home one could be gone. This ain't looking good. They are in the shit right now. They got shanked. Nice shot by Han. Oh, they're about to kill R2 though. I'm about to blow up R2's arm. This is a sad part. They didn't deserve that. They were throwing rocks. They didn't deserve that. That was a mostly peaceful protest. Oh no. Oh, they got one. They got one of them. You want this. Chewie's got helpers. Oh, they know how to work stuff. They're driving that thing. They know how to do it. They didn't even need the manual. Now they got some help. Even this one land battle is like a lot to do as far as a film is concerned. And then they have a space battle and a sword duel as well. All in the finale. It's pretty incredible. I like how he says, "No, wait." You know, he does think of Leia first, but then he's got an idea to open the door. Do it. Love the shape of Vader's blade. It's like flat and it comes to more of a point. It's something else. Nice crimson color. Very nice. Nah. That's 3 squads? You cannot hide forever, Luke. He don't like that. Good. Don't throw away that saber. So be it, Jedi. This is dangerous what they're about to do. Young fool. Do you understand? I hate how in the new versions, Vader yells, "No. No." It's unnecessary. Vader would not say anything. He would not say anything before he revealed what he was going to do. It's more powerful when you don't say anything. More powerful when Vader doesn't say anything. You know, that's what a film is supposed to be. It's supposed to be show me, don't tell me. They made that mistake. But here, original version is correct. Let the music do it. Let the visuals do it. Don't tell me, show me. That's what they did. Look at that. People analyze that Vader freeze frame where he was electrocuted for a second because they tried to gain some knowledge as to what was damaged on Vader. There was a split second there where you could almost see maybe what was damaged on Vader's skeleton. That's before the prequels came out. Then when the prequels came out, you knew what was going to happen with Vader. You were able to see. That's for damn sure. That's tight in there. No room for mistakes. Beautiful set design on these corridors, but I love the power chamber, the power regulator, the North Tower is so beautiful. That was too close. So everything broke down since the Emperor got killed, and the Empire's, like, everyone's concentration was broke for a second. That didn't help either. But to have the Super Star Destroyer be taken out. But look, it doesn't even do much to the Death Star. It doesn't do much to the Death Star at all. Even though it's super gigantic, Death Star is even so much bigger. Perfect musical score. And it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Get to see Vader. You know, in the new version, they took out his eyebrows. They said he wouldn't have eyebrows if he got burnt up. But it's like, you know, just chill the fuck out, okay? You know, stop it already. Stop. Stop messing with this. Just leave it. It's fine. He has eyebrows. It's fine. It's Sebastian Shaw. He's in it for a reason. Yeah, the Emperor's hold on him is broken. So he's probably pretty much fully reverted back to like a nice guy for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of his life right there, or 5 minutes. Look at his messed up head. So sad for Luke. But we got one more job to do. Look at that. That's beautiful. Great set design brought to life. No enhancements needed. Look at that. That's unbelievable. That's something else. And it tips and crashes. They got to go out at almost like light speed. I love the way they get spit out. The Millennium Falcon like gets spit out. Yeah. So, sorry, new movies, but there wasn't any pieces of that to be crawling around on. Don't kid yourself. There's no Emperor anymore either. The Emperor got roasted and blown up. He's my brother. Don't be so silly. Computing. Oh. Still computing. Calculated. The best part ever that got cut because of the special edition is Yub Nub. You cannot replace Yub Nub. I mean, come on. Watch the originals. Get the original DVDs. Get them however you can get them. Maybe there's a file. So iconic. Beautiful. Right over the Ewok village. Best ending of any series. This original ending. Look, you got Sebastian Shaw, Yoda, and Obi-Wan there. That's how it should be. The screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan, that's why, and George Lucas, that's why it was so well written and works so well with Empire Strikes Back. But that dude didn't do well, I don't think, on The Force Awakens. That was not the same intensity and same care in writing. I hope you guys liked that commentary on Return of the Jedi. I am going to do all the rest of the Star Wars movies. I'm going to do, I don't know which one next, maybe like Rogue One next, maybe Episode 1 next. Go through Episode 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, Solo, A Star Wars Story, right? And then I'm going to do Episode 7, 8, and then when I get to 9, since I haven't seen 9 fully all the way through yet, I think we'll do a watch party with 9 where we'll get some other people on too. We'll get Harris on, we'll get Gabe on, we'll get some other people, and we'll all watch it together. And I'll be watching like the first half for the first time on episode 9 and, see what happens with that. I pretty much know what happens in episode 9, but I haven't seen the first hour. I was an hour late because of traffic when I was driving to episode 9 and I hit traffic and I was an hour late and I never watched the beginning because I figured, when I do these watch parties, we can all watch it together. So why not do it that way? So if you could push that like button, come back next time. We're going to do potentially some other movies too, like in this format where I'll do some commentary, potentially the Harry Potter movies, the Harry Potter series. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. I really like Harry Potter. I was thinking about doing this for those movies and potentially later on, maybe next year or something like that. Lord of the Rings or something. Those are some of my favorites as well. What a film, though. What a film. Return of the Jedi. Amazing score. The acting, in my opinion, is top notch. And the effects, I mean, I was trying to find problems again, and I mean, this is probably what, the 110th time I've seen this movie, and really looked for most of the time I do watch this version, which is the original version, to be quite honest. It's probably like watching the original version 5 times to watching the special edition once. Every 5 times that I watch the original, I watch maybe the special edition. And then to be honest, I don't think I have the Blu-rays. I never bought the Blu-rays because I was unhappy with those changes, like the Darth Vader no type of thing. I don't like that. And in Empire Strikes Back, if you've seen my commentary on Empire Strikes Back, I explain about the differences between Vader and the Emperor in the original and Vader and the Emperor in the special edition and the Blu-rays. Vader was completely changed. Dialogue was completely changed to make Vader seem like he didn't know what was going on, like he didn't know that Luke was his son and the Emperor had to tell him. No, if you even the opening crawl of Empire Strikes Back says that Luke is obsessed with finding Luke Skywalker, which goes to tell you that he knows who Luke Skywalker is. He wouldn't be obsessed with a random person, even someone who blew up the Death Star. He obviously knows of a connection there. It's just silly to try to confuse the audience and to make the audience think that weird to do that anyway. I'm glad they have the originals. I'm glad I have the originals on DVD. Hopefully they're available for people if they want to see on, go on eBay or go on some place where you can get the files for the original. But thanks for watching this video, and I will talk to you next time. Do you like what I do here on SpaceWindu channel? You might like my second channel. It's called Comic Book Creation Live, and that's where I work on my latest comic book, Albatross Junction, with my friend Kevin. We do a live show every single Wednesday. You might want to drop by and check it out. It's a really cool story that is sort of like Star Wars in some ways. There's some space travel, so a lot of action, alien creatures, monsters, and future Earth, maybe over 1,000 years into the future. So go check out Comic Book Creation Live.
Lightsabers.